My name is Rion Naus. I'm a stewardship ambassador. I'm a certified public health educator. I'm a dad, and I own and operate We Grow With LLC. But this year's been a good year. The article that you wrote is wonderful.
That's what I share with the producer group. I mean, they're understanding now Clint Cox is going to be coming on the 4th of March.
Yeah, no good.
And starting to, there is a group that's beginning to understand that biology is a key component. Always has been, but just didn't know it.
True.
And didn't even know could know. But they're becoming more aware.
You didn't even know you could know.
Right. I
told someone the other day about your compaction zone. They thought that was the funniest thing. They were so into it, and I'm between his ears, and they're like, ah!
Yeah.
Well, because it's true.
It is. I mean, and I don't know. I'm not going to get to see there's always going to be another frontier.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is to realize that what's been done in the past wasn't done deliberately.
Nope.
I mean, it wasn't.
This is deliberate, though. I'm going to touch this button. Don't worry.
Right.
Yep. What's the point of it if it's not on? Little things.
See, it's always about asking the right question. Right. And then the answer. Make sure the answer is to the question
has to be.
You asked.
You didn't even check that one. So, yeah, that compaction zone is real.
It is. And I because I overheard some people talking there after John Kemp's, and it's I didn't know who they were. But it was here was the pioneer or the one that says, hey, I think maybe there's something to this.
Oh, those people talking about, yeah.
And so then and they're in this group and they're saying, of peers, it's like coffee shop. And maybe there's things we should be doing different with nitrogen and whatnot. And they get angry at them because...
Yeah. Well, there's plenty to get angry at him about. But it is. I guess when we talk about the compaction zone, it's hard.
It is.
It's hard. Well, and for some of these people, that anger is with themselves, with the previous generation, with the fact that they're tired and now they have to do more work.
The other part of it is I can't pass this on to the next. What am I passing on? I mean, I can't make a go. How will anyone else be able to do that? And you start to reflect on inside yourself, and it's man, how did I get here? I really didn't want this, but here's where I'm at, and I really don't know where to go. And I still find myself, you can listen to John Kemp. I went and listened to another guy that I don't remember his name, but it's you would know him. He's with Elevate Ag now. It's
Austin Cisneros?
No, I know Austin.
Yeah, he's great. I love him.
But he is apparently a soil scientist, and he's come up with some next test where you look at genetics, and it's okay, and that's with Regen Ag, and it's all this stuff is I appreciate the warm and fuzzies, but it still doesn't help me to know what my next step is. Follow what I'm saying there?
Yes, and you can eat while I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay, so I think you're right.
Of my sloppiness out?
You can.
Okay.
I agree with you that there's this how do I start attitude?
Yeah.
Right? But the problem is, the thing they need to do to quote unquote start is what you're doing in your backyard.
Yeah.
Right? Which is honestly not very hard. The hard part's just doing it.
The hard part is starting it. Just to start it. And that's what I told myself. I listened to this Dr. Johnson with a green cover webinar, and it's I'm not going to do it exactly the way he did, and that's okay, as long as what I change still fits inside the principles.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying
100%.
there?
The principles are the guiding.
It is.
The boundaries, right?
It is what drives it all.
So I've simplified it down to like 4 words. So it's either chemically laden or biologically driven. Those are pretty much the only options.
That is right.
Yeah. And that's why it's also hard, because you have to humble yourself and then go, I really have a chemically laden system. Okay. Makes sense why I need to shift gears. Makes sense why we have to put the life back. Makes sense why this is actually, for the long term, the bigger picture, versus the chemical and then just covering everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say that chemical process is becoming expensive.
Yeah.
I can't make that work no more. And it's not going to get better.
No, definitely not.
And I think that's the part that makes it the most frustrating for a production ag, whether you be young or whether you be old, is that I see the trend. Unless I have outside income, unless my daughter marries Bill Gates' son, I can't. That's the only way I can continue. Okay, there's another question.
Okay.
Jill Clapperton. I couldn't remember her name the other day. Went Cheney Lake.
Yep.
I didn't realize she was doing stuff in Kansas.
Yeah.
But anyway, she made this, mycorrhizal fungi. I don't know. I'm kind of fixated on that in a way, and maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. It's good and bad. When you get tunnel visioned, it becomes bad.
Yes. But if you see them for what they are, then you realize that focal point, right? What could be tunnel vision is actually just understanding how important they are.
Yeah.
There are some things that are that important that we need to focus on.
And I kind of think that is.
It is, 100% it is. Because even the term that you're using, mycorrhizal or buscular mycorrhizal or endo or ecto, like whatever, it really is just saying the fungi that has a relationship with my plant. Like those relationships, that's the myco and the rhizal, right? You see what I mean? Those relationships is what's so important. And then we just nurture those.
Well, here's my train of thought.
Okay.
You suggested that I get a PLFA test of my compost.
Yep.
Voila! On that doggone test, it shows saprophytic and mycorrhizal.
And AMF, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or buscular.
Right.
Now, talking with this Indy Lopez, she says, well, there's false positives. I don't know all the terms. And it's like,
that's
okay,
the testing stuff.
maybe that's it. But is it sort of right? So anyway, I'm listening to this Jill Clapperton. She says, onions. Plant onion seed. If the root turns yellow, there's mycorrhizal fungi in your soil, because it turns the root yellow. If it stays white, then there is none.
Okay.
Is that true?
I haven't tested it. I don't know.
Well,
that one specifically, I don't know.
I've got some little onions growing in my compost.
Can't wait to see them. Yeah.
Well, so far, I know I'm growing them at the wrong time. I'm growing them inside. I don't have no. But they did germinate. They are coming up. I used some potting soil to be my control.
Okay.
And
then the rest are in the...
And then I took some of my compost and put the rest in there. And they're about this tall right now. I pulled a couple out, and it's like, I can't tell. But I don't know.
So that's where, like, this tool right here...
Yeah.
You just turn the light on, and you can see...
I know.
Before it's evident with your eyes. Like, that's why, this other wavelength...
Well...
But if we can have visuals that
See
or other
that?
cues, I would love to. Even if you just planted some as part of a crop.
You're right.
And then
That's
you can go
what-
out there and look and be like, we're here. It's like canary in the coal mine type.
That's my next thing. But I got to
That's a
prove
good
to
one.
myself it works.
Yeah.
And that's why I did not think that this Indy Lopez would come out to my farm. But I thought, well, hey, give it a try.
Yeah, no, I think it's
I think
great.
the only reason really is she talked with Dr. Rice, and he knows me from the Cheney Lake days. Because he did stuff there, and it's like, oh, hey, I think you ought to go see if you want to go see. He'd be somebody worth going. So she's made several contacts, and she's looking forward to it. So,
I wish you would have come to this event.
pardon me?
I said I wish she would have come to the event. If you can extend the invitation to the Omaha Nexus, I'm happy to connect with her there too. I'll be there next week.
Okay.
I mean, it's just opportunities.
Well, she's a graduate student, so I don't exactly know what kind of. But anyway,
I was a graduate student for a
Well,
while. It's part of it, you know.
But it's back to this. I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know I could know it, and so I have to be introduced. And part of it is this. I'm wanting to. It's like, can you see it over here, and does that show the same thing? Because I know how to send samples to Rion.
That's true.
and
I'll look.
and get that done.
Yep.
And
I think it helps us interpret data differently. I was talking with, what's her name, Lauren, who's going to be doing the presentation all about
Who's this?
I think her name's Lauren. She's doing the presentation on the data, the testing.
I was going to a different one,
Yeah,
but
right here, Lauren Hatfield.
I think I've heard her before. It's about aggregate stability. She's
going to.
I've got one of those little
Yep.
little tools. I mean, the only thing about
See,
it is it
I like-
takes too long.
Yes, I think though that the cool part would be for her to do that slake test, right?
Yep.
And then for us to be able to take an example of that and look at it, because you'll be able to see the biology that's holding that aggregate stability there, right?
Yep.
Versus just seeing, oh look, my dirt falls apart.
Right. I do this, then I put water in it,
Yeah,
and
look
I
what happens.
move the time, and it gives me a number.
Yep.
And I
All the
did
numbers.
that.
I think that's part of the compaction issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get hung up on the numbers.
Yeah. But I think we want to somehow have a metrics that we can measure something over time and see a trend.
Right.
And is that trend? Maybe I only realized too late that the trend I was after was not one I wanted.
Oh, right. If you were looking for something else. Yeah, true.
I dropped another.
It's right here.
Oh, here it is.
Well, I got another.
No,
Oh.
I just thought I lost it.
No, you got a collection. Yeah, the numbers do fixate people. It becomes its own, limited focus. Which is why I don't like some of the testing, because they simplify all of it down to a number. But when you do that, sometimes that number, a lower number is actually a better reading if you're looking at functions or other things.
Yeah.
And so, but if you only have someone who's like, no, I need the highest number, then we miss. What's up?
Hey.
You're gonna sit and record with me? Tell me a story? Oh, this is actually your sample. It's dried now, but it looked really great. We can look at some more.
Okay.
But nice protozoas, great testated amoebas.
Was that in the
It is still there. It's just dried. So.
But was this sample from the liquid or from one of those?
Oh no, from this one here. So the south
one
one.
of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So So this here is actually really cool because it shows capillary action and aggregation. Okay? So when your soil dries, right, that capillary action does this. And then the biology glues itself together. That's now an aggregate.
Okay.
And then when it moistens again, then it has air and water passage. And then based on how that biology is like sequestered, bound up in there, it can then grow out and reach and bridge. So even when the microscope slide dries, it's showing you what good, healthy capillary action is doing, because it's concentrated that whole slide into that little sliver, right? And then that's now gas exchange, you know, when you have good capillary action. So, which is also why I can wear these sandals and not worry about losing a toe. Because it's capillary action. You want blood flow, right? If you got good blood flow, because capillaries are different, it's a pressure gradient component, then you can circulate the heat, all the things of the body, versus poor circulation, and now your toes aren't getting the warmth, the blood, the nutrition, right? And then you lose a toe. So, granted, when it's in the single digits, you do have to worry about your single digits. So
I was going to say, I mean, here
this is warm. Like a couple weeks ago, it was brutal.
Last week, a frostbite would have been.
Yeah, but you can feel it. I think we all know that feeling too, right? Where you're like, ooh, I think it's like the little blood vessels, my toes
there's
are
a stinging, and the big problem is when you can no longer feel the sting.
See, that's why you need to be aware. So that's the indicator. Yeah.
So that's all that biology on that slide.
Yep. And it's just dried, which is what happens, right?
Yeah, sure.
But let me reset the slide. So same slide. We'll do a new one. You can take those and rehydrate it, but it isn't the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a raisin. You can't really make it back into a grape again. So, but, you know, for what we're doing, that's perfect. I'm going to put this sad over here, Lyle. So it's out at Cameron's and his father's, their property, and we did a great program and checked out all their acres, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's a good time. Keep them busy.
Yeah.
So same material.
Really all last week, here this week, Texas next week, Wyoming, Nebraska, and 2 places in Nebraska the following week.
Yeah, you're busy.
One of the final bin samples.
I'll put something over here.
Spread out. You take care of Mike. Right.
And actually, it was really cool to see the progress of the material, like how it shifts. You can see that buildup of the different castings from that system.
Now, what type of process do you do for?
So this is, he calls it a biome bin. It was wood chips. We soaked the wood.
Okay.
We got his foundational fungi with the water that we soaked for.
So this is at 40, so it's way far out. You can see this with the naked eye, right? Or a loop, like a little, like something like this.
Water off.
And then we'll go to 100 magnification. And it takes us getting all the way down to 400 to see bacteria. But these are all fungal hyphase, right? All of those.
Okay.
And so it's now by putting that, in a root inoculum or whatever you're doing, that you're going to get the benefits of having that community, that relationship.
Store that.
It's stored. This stuff has not gone bad at all. I don't know what he can tell you why.
Okay.
But
so
it doesn't seem.
This is like, and it's just a drip. You see what I mean? But it's like this is where putting back what's missing.
Start.
Like this looks nothing like just a raw dirt sample. That's teeny tiny bacteria and little rocks, right? This is actually filled with structure, and all of these creatures equal nutrient cycling.
Fungus.
The beneficial fungi here is, now we're talking about nutrient transportation, right? Being able to move it to where your plant is. Like, how does my plant get zinc? The zinc's over here. Well, there's this whole conduit of biology moving resources back to, which is why if this fungi is in the outside of the root or in the plant itself, both of those are mycorrhizal relationships. You see what I mean? And so at that point, now your plant has this relationship with a whole other kingdom of creatures that helps. Here's the coolest part that most people don't get. It's like when we have soil, it's sand, silt, clay, right? Those really are just different particle sizes, big, medium, little. Your plant has two ways to interface, a root and a root hair. That's it. That's the plant, right? So root hair. How does your plant access where all the water's stored, where all the nutrition's stored, the electrical conductivity, the ionic exchange? That's in that smallest particle size. That's why it outsources to a relationship with these guys, because they're 10 to 100 times smaller than a root hair. So now, in that pore space, where that root couldn't get through, and then it can transport it back. And so these little crossbars that you see, there's a smaller one here, but the crossbars, think of those like pressure gates. And so it can shut a gate and then increase the internal pressure and move something a different direction. Open that gate up, now it goes this way. So, yep. And because of where it's grown, because of how you've grown it, right? The nurturing process, this is acclimatized and adapted to your space.
Your area, yeah.
Right? And so then it becomes, what do we do to support them? Nourishment, food, mineral nutrition too. Like, what can we do to nourish this biology? And there's some really great products, and there's a really cool one called squid juice.
Squid juice?
True, it's kind of a silly name, but squid are not fish, right? And that chewiness is connected to how that structure is made, and it's actually mostly chitin, which is fungi food. So now you have a hydrolysate that helps feed your plant while having all three forms of chitin in it, which helps feed your fungi, which are helping to feed your plant. See what I mean? And so that is totally different than what a fish hydrolysate is.
Okay.
Even though they're both hydrolysates, right? That's part of that production. But because of the differences in the creatures, very different responses. So, yeah, it's really good. Happy to connect you with those guys.
This one?
And it's something that you, smaller scale, can feed your biome bin.
So that's what I feed the biome in. That's what
and which is going to nurture those populations, and then
going.
Yep.
Would
then you can do. Yeah.
Would I then, do something like that in this? This is
the windrow?
static tile, the windrow or static covered tile.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty new. I mean, I don't even know if it's been out there much more than a month. I can't remember when we talked last. I did it.
There's 2 or 3.
Whenever we talked last, I did it the next day.
Oh, that's good.
A couple days.
So this is using the silage or the feed truck?
The feed truck and the wood chips and it's mostly wood chips and some, basically feed piles that were kind of on the, junky side. I think.
Well, let's look at this real fast.
Heavy orders, man. Heavy order. Oh, you gonna go out to eat after? Yep.
And
very
inoculate it with this, and I inoculate it with several 5-gallon buckets of the biome bin.
It's like you said, it's a little young, but we'll see. That's the cool part about looking. So all this is, Matthew, is just making a very simplified extraction, washing off what's on top, right? Not trying to be crazy and obliterate everything, but really just get the stuff that's on it into suspension so that we can see what's floating around.
So this is my son-in-law. I don't know if I. Okay. Yeah.
No, were you? Do you guys live out there on the?
They live out close-ish
Okay.
to us.
Yeah, I didn't meet you when I was out there. So
He did not. He was not out.
I live in the big city of Weston.
yeah, the big city.
I feel like y'all would have enough.
So, well then, there's a connection. So perfect.
It's connected. There's a little bit of
Definitely connected.
She had like a whole bunch of stuff.
So, and then all this is right,
117.
a pair of binoculars hooked to an Etch-a-Sketch.
So again, breakout sessions are already underway. 117.
And then, so this is
the next trade show break. Then Donde Jr., our keynote speaker, closes the afternoon before the beer and bowl from
100.
Make sure you're there. Breakout sessions happening right now.
light yellow, kind of honey color are going to be more your fulvic acids. Dark amber color is going to be more your humic acids.
I don't even care what it is. I just want to dump dicamba all over.
We are just looking at part of the drip, you know what I mean? Like, this is where there could be exactly what we're looking for somewhere.
Is that fungi
Yeah, I want to be able to slide.
No.
Get some CO.
I'm seeing a lot of like cellulose, like stuff from the breakdown of the silage type material. That looks like I see there. So let's zoom in. Yeah. So everything you see wiggling is alive,
Yeah.
right?
They online.
Predominantly bacteria,
Period right now.
which current agriculture is predominantly bacteria. So that's part of this little fungal hyphae though.
It's cool because you can't have it.
So, and one of the ways we can tell that it's a beneficial is the parallel walls, right? And then you have those pressure gates. There's that little crossbar, that little septa right there. You see that little crossbar? And then the color. The color is actually from humics. And they can change their color to protect them from ultraviolet light. It's called melanin, just like us. So they can change their color density to protect them from UV light. How cool is that,
Isn't
right?
that something?
Isn't that cool? And so this is why, but that's why it's so important to have organic material for them to pull from and protect themselves. Yeah.
But I like it. Right. Yeah.
So I would say that it's still really bacterially dominant. A couple things that you could do is we can spike it with other biology. You can actually take some of these other ones that had a lot more of those testate amoebas and other ones, extract a small amount of this and put it in that, right? So bridge the gap on some of the biology. One thing I haven't seen, but granted, we just looked a little bit, is any nematodes, which are huge nutrient cyclers, plus large scale, bioturbation. But you can actually buy those as like a product, and then you can just spike your things with them.
So this pile did get spiked with
Yeah.
and so it might
So that the effluent from the
effluent
right
from the
bottom.
biome bins.
Did you take the material from the
We
top
took
and
the
also
material
extract
from the
that?
top,
Okay, that's
and
good.
Like several 5-gallon buckets per load.
Yeah, no, that's
I
good.
Put that in there, so it's in there. It just maybe not
Yeah,
pronounced yet. It surely will.
but it's also the different. Do you hunt, Matthew? Do you go hunting or okay? So we have alpha predators, but then we also have these secondary predators. And so it's like we need the bobcats and the mountain lions, or we need the bobcats running around to keep a lot of the stuff in check versus having a whole bunch of mountain lions running around, right? And so the nematode would more be like a mountain lion, right? But then your testate amoeba is like different scale, but still predators. Does that make sense? And so you have, yeah, and then here's your coyotes, and then you have maybe your ciliates would be something like your raccoons, so a little bit everywhere and kind of squirrely. But it's part of understanding it's the same relationships, just different scale. Yeah. Yeah. So the same thing with bacillus, rod shaped. Well, that wiggle, right, is very similar to a nematode.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to a worm, which is very similar to a snake. But they're very different creatures. they all kind of do, though, they perform that function in that system at different scales. So, but, you know, if you don't have any fungal communities, then all the nutrition that's right over here, your plant can't get to it. All the water that's there can't get to it. It's frustrating to me to get a soil test and it'll be like, this is 50% water, and it's dry as a bone. Because we can't access that water. But if you had the creatures that do access that water, they're like, we're swimming in it.
Yeah, that was one of the deals yesterday in the John Kemp thing. We talked about the clay particles. Has that water all around it, you know, even though it looks just completely bone dry. And these guys,
they can get it.
You know, they can access it out of it. But,
give me a little sugar and I'll pass it. I'll take care of it. I think that's the ability that what I do and what I don't do in order to foster that. That's what I want to know. Because I've been doing things that I shouldn't be, and I just didn't know it.
So, but that's also why having this tool is important, because you can do it at a small scale and go, I wonder what this new product that I was told that will fix all my problems will do. Drip, and you go, oh look, it killed everything. Wouldn't it be nice to know that before you sprayed it out on all your acres? Like that's a really great test. Oh look, it's all dead. Yeah. Well, that's the opposite. So.
I've always wondered that, especially where you get.
And even just in movement, we don't realize, like, so right now we're visualizing a wiggle. But if I strum a guitar and you just look at the strings, you see them wiggle. But if you hear them, it's sound. So I can't hear this sound, but it's making sound. Right? Because it's doing the thing. The worm can. And that's the dinner bell that then has them come up to start eating and then providing plant soluble nutrition. You know, no dinner bell, nobody's coming to play. So. Yeah, good stuff. The question now is, and I know you have the guy in the corner, Blake's, the older version. He told me you guys modified it a little bit to make it easier.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the model's called now, but that awesome. Great extractor. Then it's putting it to work for you.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think we don't have any more Johnson Sioux left, so we'll have to use this pile. Swarm castings. We'll add them all in. And I'm going to have over 1,000 gallons of that fluid.
Excellent.
Come, you know, when we start planting or, you know, fertilizing or whatever.
And especially for your region as it drops down, this is where your house, that grass pathway, your garden, tie it all in with each other versus this acre, that acre, and they're disconnected. Because these pathways allow it to bridge those gaps. Like when we hear about, it needs so many parts per million or per billion of these elements, that means you can have it right here, but you have to have accessibility from the other side of the field. Just like in your truck, that fuse, right? You pull out that little tiny element, your air conditioner doesn't work. Well, if you pull out that little mineral nutrition, your plant can't deal with heat stress. You got to put that back, and now the system works again, you know? And so, but it only works because it's tied into the rest of that system. So, especially your tree line areas, let those start working for you better.
Yeah, you could. There's a way away.
It'll help with some of that fuel load too. Kind of put the fungi to work for you in a different way.
So you're saying on the tree row, so like
I spray everything.
Just
let
the boom up and
heck yeah. The healthy ecosystems. Now every time a bird comes up and lands in that tree, it's going to land back out. This is how they share that biology.
I mean, we're so used to 700 gallons.
Dad's looking at turning one of our old sprayers, which is a pull type, into like a slurry deal. Like we take the boom off and just put a nozzle for the
put a flood jet nozzle
stuff out.
Yeah.
I was like, I can go around with 1,600 gallons of
Yeah.
whatever we make, and
that's in one drop.
right.
See what I mean? So now that tank is, oh my word. Yeah. But that's the little labor force. That's the important part. Like the idea of, oh, it's hard for us. Yes, because we're not them. This is what they do all day long, every day, just doing this is what they love to do. That's what they do. Their whole place. When we try to do their job, that's really hard, right? But everything that this system is doing is making plant available nutrition. Just like when you go to the bathroom, poop and pee, that's the excess nutrition. Everything they eat, they have excess nutrition. That's all going out into that rhizosheath. The plant's just sucking that up. Yeah. Here's another testate amoeba right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is, it's
That's one of the bobcats.
the
Bobcat.
the medium, right, and then you get bigger, right? This is where it's all scale, and so think of more like a snail versus a slug. So this has a shell, and then the naked amoebas don't, and so it comes out of that shell, and the name of the shell is called a testate. So that's why they call it testate amoebas. But
I remember when we saw them in the living room, it would go out. And
yep, literally comes around.
come back in. Come on, guy.
Right. But when we're talking about aggregation, every one of those little clusters are an aggregate, and you have to have micro aggregates before you can have macro aggregates. It's like a snowball. It has to be built off of. Yeah.
That's it.
And they come up and it's like, I thought you were like 25. You're 60. You sound young. Vice versa. That's kind of
And what testing are you running? You did PLFA? You did PLFA. What are you gonna have samples done?
As far as the soil sample,
No, whatever you're gonna test it.
we'll test this.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I don't know that. I don't know what we're gonna do.
A PLFA test.
Okay.
We already know it's breathing. See what I mean? So Haney and PLFA, if you wanted to do both, they do give you different information. The Haney will give you more information that's like directly connected to like, what about water soluble nitrogen? You see, it's like that.
Yeah.
Those components. The PLFA will just kind of give you more,
You've mentioned that before.
pulling out the notebook.
Now I'm going to judge you. I wasn't going to judge you.
Maybe work in a glass of water.
Yeah, but those two together. The genomic test just tells you who it is. The PLFA tells you what it is, but not your name, like the specific species name. It gives categories.
And we want to do that so we know what we're putting out on the ground, right? Which is
It'll also then tell you you're missing this piece, and so it's something we can reinforce. But it'll also give you a level of comfortability where you're like, but look, I have all of these pieces, versus just trusting, a bug in a jug sales pitch.
I looked at several guys and they say, well, we buy this product and that, and I'm like, I already have my humic.
Yeah, it's a living humic. Yeah, it is.
I like the way you think there. I mean, why would I trade buying anhydrous for buying Head and Happy? Just as I'm still buying when I can do it myself.
The important part is to recognize that if time is money, if you don't have time, that's why we use our money. And then at that point, you reinforce what you're doing with what Dan from Fed and Happy has done.
Right.
Or you get a windrow of his material because you're going to need so much, and then you inoculate it with this so you get more out of it. You see what I mean? You that extra step is tremendous.
I want to do more windrowing. I want to get that get that process going.
Yeah.
And you always cover the windrows, right? I mean, you're covering them.
Mostly. Yeah. I mean, that's just we have so much wind out here, the trans-evaporation's real, and at that point you end up with a kind of a shell, but the majority is just taking place here. If it's tarped like the spice method, then you get much more involvement through the whole whole amount.
So I had one leftover piece of grain bag,
Yep.
and it was perfect for the size of my pile. I mean, just I pulled it off the grain bagger, cut it in half. It just
Did you divot the top?
I did.
Good.
I've got a.
So evaporation moisture goes up. If it's rounded, it hits the top and then drains out.
Gotcha.
If it goes up and at the top there's an M, like the letter M, then it goes up and it drains back in.
So essentially a gutter.
Yeah, and so it creates a water cycle inside of it versus it just drains it out. The intention, that little difference changes the whole thing. Yeah. I appreciate you bringing it. It's always fun to see how things are doing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think this year we're going to take another. I think last year we took the step. I think this year we're going to take another step.
So seed coating, in furrow. What else you going to do? What other steps? Side dress?
I will do the side dress with the drop nozzle.
Yep.
But I might do a little bit more just foliar.
Yeah.
I'm still leery about foliar in our place because you could put it out there and then tomorrow 105 degrees and 35-mile-an-hour wind, you know.
Yeah, but see, you win some. You didn't waste it. You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Like this is where even the humic color is sunscreen. Yeah. So on that 105-degree temperatures, it's going to help buffer and protect that plant. You see what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I may have torched the biology, but you still put nutrition. You still put, and every single one of these things wants to live.
And the other part of it is you're growing it where you are. Over eons of time, that it's already acclimated. Maybe it dies, but what it doesn't leave. It comes back again when the circumstances are favorable.
A lot of this stuff will go into that protective state, that cyst-or-ton state. And that's also then that's why those aggregates are so important. That's where they can kind of hide inside of. That's why, buffering all your biology with some good, really solid humic component. It is a living humic, this one, but the mineral component is also protection and food and nourishment.
We did spreads. Well, I told you we did some humic in our wheat this year. We did more of a test. The guy kind of ran out of it, so I did a test in a couple of fields.
Matthew, do you do any livestock or?
Yeah.
You can incorporate all of this into your livestock.
Oh yeah.
And through your livestock.
Feed the bugs, feed the cows.
You reset the rumen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think of like if a cow only eats silage, it's only eating like sourdough bread. Mm-hmm. It's a very specific type of biology. But if the cow was out in a healthy environment, and this is what was that lower layer below the green grass, it would be in it and, all over. At that point, it goes inside. That's why we have the acid test, right? That acidity is a filter, right? At which point, if it dies and gets pulled apart, okay, cool. If it doesn't, it passes through. Now the rumen, which is a fermentation tank. It's really fun to hang out with ported cows when they have a little window in the side and reach in there, pull some. It's kind of a trip, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Oh, yeah. Because they didn't want me to feed it to the cow. They just wanted me to see what happens with what's in the cow. So we took what's in the cow out of the cow. And so the cow literally has like a little window and a little
flapper kind of.
Yep. And they seal it up, and cow's fine, doesn't care, does nothing. And you just want a little inside. It's different.
Yeah.
But at that point,
it smells like what you think it does.
Yeah, it's true. But we've put the different materials to the water supply. Right? They're just drinking up, right? Healthy environment, they're out there, their faces in the creek or whatever, like they're still pulling up algae and other things. And mixed different material in with feed rations, right, to supplement that other nutrition. Yeah.
Well, shall we go see if we can get into a little bit of that other deal, or do we want to skip that one?
Hear the ball.
It's good to hear that. I heard it too.
I got him trained.
And that's at 100 power, you said?
This is at 400,
Or
which is why we can see the bacteria buzzing around.
okay, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I did want to go see this one.
Go sneak in.
Room 114.
There's actually a bunch of really good ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I may want to. I'm going to head on. I am
I'll
very,
be back. I'll visit.
Good.
I'm very much interested
Nice to meet you too.
in. I mean, I heard this term. I mean, used a couple times about the pathway off of nitrogen
Yeah.
and the pathway on to biology, and it's like
How's it going, Tom?
I see that how to do that without and
Yeah.
still be economically.
It has to be, or it doesn't work.
I know.
Yeah. My name is Rion Naus. I'm a stewardship ambassador. I'm a certified public health educator. I'm a dad, and I own and operate We Grow With LLC. We Grow With helps people to differentiate between fertilizer and fertility. We use products and services. We equip people with the observation tools they need, as well as the products that make their jobs easier, allowing them to turn dead dirt into living land at any scale.